What's going on, fellas? So today, I'm going to give you 10 things, 10 important things that I've learned about women over about 14 or 15 years of dating. Now, I actually started taking dating seriously. I'm not going to say taking dating seriously, but that's when I actually started getting out to the world, man, as a young lion dealing with women at the age of 19. All right, so it's been about 14, 15 years. So you do the math. All right, G. So 10 things that you need to learn. Now, the reason for this video is because there's a lot of guys, a lot of young men, older men as well, but a lot of young men in their younger 20s who don't believe that they're good with women. And that might be the case. But fellas, the best teacher is experience. The fact is, you're probably not bad with women. You just don't have enough experience. Now, another great teacher is learning from others. Learning from the men who've been through the things that you've been through. Because after you watch this video, you should avoid a ton of mistakes that I've made in my past. If I would have got this video 15 years ago, I probably would have met my dream girl already, G. Alright, not really, but you get what I'm saying. I wouldn't have went through a lot of the stuff I went through, a lot of the mistakes, a lot of the heartbreaks. Now, this is the thing about it. Remember I said, experience is the best teacher. So, as a young man in the dating marketplace, you got to understand, you are going to go through heartbreak. You can't avoid it. If you live a fear-based life, avoiding heartbreak, you feel like you can't fall in love with a woman or get into a relationship with a woman because you're scared to get your heart broken, you're not going to live life to its fullest. All right, G. So, let me get off my rant. Take notes and pay attention. First thing that you got to understand, guys, is that women are not the purpose of life. All right, G. Now, we always talking about finding your purpose. The main question most guys have in life along their journey, especially when they get to the age of about 28 to 30, is what is my purpose? How do I find my purpose? I'm going to tell you what it's not. It's not a woman. All right, fellas, women are not the purpose of life. If you look back in history or in today's present day, any man, rich, poor, middle class, doesn't matter who he is, the moment he makes a woman the center of his life, the moment he makes a woman his purpose and his everything and the center of his world and his main focal point of attention, it never ends well. It always fails 99.9% of the time. If you can give me a case where it hasn't, let me know and put it in the comments, all right? But the fact is, it's not about that. It's not about getting wrecked by a woman and all the horror stories you hear. What it's about is there's other things in life. What I like to say is women are a byproduct of life. All right, G, your life is about you. Women are just an asset because the irony in this is if you don't focus on you and your purpose, and if you are not your purpose in life, you don't get women. It's ironic that women are not attracted to men who are not attracted to their purpose. All right, G. So first thing, get this out the way. Women are not the purpose of life. So if you're focusing on women, if the only self-development you do is about getting women, it's ironic that you end up not getting women. So this is a lot of men's problems. At some point in my life, I'm not going to say this was my problem, but I had to learn that I need to shift my attention to me. And the moment I shift my attention to me, all the women shift their attention to me. All right, G? So next thing. All right, guys. This doesn't matter if you're just dating a woman or if you're in a relationship. Women follow men who lead. All right, now I'm gonna make this very basic. This is gonna come down to the simplest form of you making decisions and being decisive. I always use a classic example. When your girl tell you that she's hungry and you ask her, what do you want to eat? And she says that she doesn't know. And you guys get into a 30-minute argument about her not telling you what she wanted to eat because you couldn't just make a decision. Or in the case of it gets to a point where you have to make a decision and you're indecisive as to what route you want to go, and you got to get your girl's input or your girl's influence. Whatever the case is, Women follow men who lead. So even if you don't know where to go on a date, just pick a place. Even if it suck, I guarantee you the fact that you are able and competent enough to pick where you want to go. And you can use this in all relatable examples, fellas. It doesn't matter the situation. But the fact that you had competence, that's what women follow. That's what leading is about. Having competence. Even in stressful situations, you can still make decisions. This is in dating. This is when you're just chilling with a woman. This is in every scenario. Because when you're not decisive and when you can't lead, women don't follow, i.e. submit, comply, everything you basically want from a woman. You will not get if you don't have the ability to lead. All right? Number 3. Now, fellas, this is something I always done inside these 14, 15 years of dating. I never had a problem with this. And this is why I always had women come back. All right, G, this is what you got to learn how to do. For all the nice guys and all the soft-spoken men who don't like to outwardly say what's on their mind. I'm not telling you that every time your girl make a mistake, you got to point it out. Because this is the truth about females. Women don't like to be judged. They don't like to be ridiculed or criticized. So if you're going to check your chick, calling her out, this is what we're talking about. If you're going to check her, do it in a way where it still makes her feel comfortable. You can still check your chick and put her in a place without feeling her like she's a horrible human being. Because that's the worst thing you want to do with a woman. This is why sometimes attractive men are lonely. Because they judge women. Because usually attractive men got all their stuff together, so they put too much pressure on women. And that's not a problem, because if you put a pressure on a woman, she will chase you. But if you do it in a way where you're ridiculing her, calling her out in a way to where it's making you look like God and she's nothing, that's when she'll leave you. But if you do it in a way where you call her out and you can be kind of aggressive about it, let her know what's up. All right, G, the women who have had burning desire for me, even the women who didn't have it for me at the beginning, let's say they had on the burning desire scale between like a 7 or 8. Once they realized that I wasn't playing games and I would check them, it naturally raised to a 10. Why? Because women want men who are serious about their life. I'm not saying who are serious all the time, but who are serious about their own life. And they have boundaries. All right, G, and they ain't playing no games, so they're not going to let her talk crazy. So I'll give you an example on how to call a woman First, I'll tell you what not to do. Let's say you have a tense argument with your chick, or let's say y'all just talking, and she say something out of line or something that you deem disrespectful, and you say, I don't like the way you spoke to me. Let's say you say it like that, and she start going off, well, I don't like the way you did this, whatever you did, G, and she just start having an emotional reaction. See, a lot of guys, how they react to this is they stand up, they get aggressive, and I made this mistake in the past. And I saw the difference between when I didn't do this and when I did the example I'm going to give you in a second versus when I made this mistake. So most men will stand up, get aggressive. 9 times out of 10, they bigger than a woman. They'll start yelling over her, shouting over her, and that's how they call her out, and that's how they assert dominance. But most times, really, G, what I learned how to do, and all you got to do is sit back, let her get her spilled out, and just look at her and just repeat what you said, but just make a demand at the end of it and say, look, I said I don't like the way you spoke to me. I understand how you feel. I understand what I did earlier, but that gives you no reason to speak how you just spoke to me. So let's set some rules right now. Okay, and you can give her whatever rules or standards you have. All right, G, now 9 times out of 10, because you're not afraid to stand up to her, and I ain't talking about standing over her. I'm just saying standing up to her and not being afraid of her walking out the door because you stood on business. The fact that you can do that, 9 times out of 10, she'll be more attracted to you. But if you decide to say, I don't like the way you spoke to me, and then she stand over you and start yelling and screaming and have an emotional reaction, and your reaction is, well, babe, I just don't like the way you spoke to me. Can you just not talk to me like that? No, G, that's not how you respond. You got to call a woman out. Because you'll realize the men who women say are jerks, that's the men who they can't get over. Gee, I've been called a jerk so many times in my life. I am convinced that I am a jerk. And I'm kind of okay with that. Most men be defensive about it. I'm not a jerk. I'm not a jerk. I'm a jerk, G. I understand. I get it. I've been told it enough. Asshole, jerk, whatever you want to call it. All right? So, learn how to call women out. You don't have to be over aggressive about it. Just stand on business. You could be the most soft-spoken, introverted guy in the world. Just stand on business. Number 4. All right, now, this is going to be related to number 3. So something you got to understand is, and a lot of men don't want to understand and they don't want to deal with, so I'm going to run through this quick. I made many videos about this, but I will repeat it, is women will test you. Simple as that. It doesn't matter what she look like, how much she like you, how much she don't like you, how much burning desire she has for you. The irony in burning desire is the more she has, the more she's gonna shit test you, especially at the beginning stages, because she wants to make sure that you're that guy. It's like when your coach pick on you in practice and you wondering why he don't talk about nobody else but you. Why? Because your coach got genuine burning desire for you, for your skills, G, all right? No diddy. But you get what I'm saying, all right, fellas? Women will test you. It is female nature for a woman to vet you, to make sure that you have competence in certain areas in life. What that tells her is that you are a man who can protect, provide, and make sure that her babies don't come out with some type of dysfunctions or something. So women will test you, all right? This is hypergamy. This is female nature. And the men who understand this pass these tests with flying colors. I've never been with a woman. We talking about the 14 to 15 years I've been dating. I've never been with a woman who didn't shit test me. I've been with all type of women. I've been with low quality women. I've been with high quality women. I've been with women that work at McDonald's. I've been with doctors and lawyers. I've been with women twice my age. I've been with women younger than me. Gee, all women will test you. It's nature. You can't get around it. The men who usually opt out the game is the men who can't handle tests. So it will happen. It's inevitable. So get over it. I'm not going to show you how to pass them today. It's just on the list. Number 5. All right, so number 5. And I want to speed through this one because number 6 and through 10 are very important. Don't always be available. Now, this is going to have a lot to do with the law of scarcity. This is a natural human law. The more you give somebody anything, the less they value it. The more scarce you make anything, the more it's valued. For anybody who watches TV or any YouTube channel or any type of media, Netflix, Hulu, Prime Video, doesn't matter what it is. What do you see every now and then? You see ads. They're ads that run. And sometimes they're car ads. And what type of car ads do you normally see? You normally see GMC, maybe Ford. You might see a Mercedes car ad, but you rarely see, and you probably never see, a Lamborghini ad, ever. Why? Because it's rare and it's scarce. So that's why the average price of a Lamborghini, correct me if I'm wrong for all the car enthusiasts, is about 250 grand. All right, G, high or low. You feel me? So understand, if you treat your time, your energy, your resources like a Toyota Camry, it will be priced and valued as that by that woman. All right, you guys get what I'm saying? This is not about cars. This is about you. But you are the car. You're the driver, G. You got to understand this. So if you're always giving a woman your time, if you're always texting back. Now, I'm not telling you to play these little dumb text games. G, if you ain't busy and you ain't doing nothing, text the girl back. You ain't doing nothing, G. You might as well text her back. So that's what I'm saying. You should be focused on your purpose. So you're not always available naturally, and you ain't got to fake it, and you don't come off as a front, and internally you got confidence, and internally you don't feel like a loser or a liar. All right, G? So don't always be available. How can you not always be available without faking it? Get on your purpose. Simple as that. All right, you would naturally not have time and have that 2-hour gap between when you text a woman back if you on your purpose. But now most of you guys sitting there waiting by your phone, calculating the time between when you send texts. It's really lame. All right, G, if you had a video camera watching you doing that stuff, you'll look lame as hell. Keep flipping your phone over trying to see how many minutes it done passed till she texts you because you don't want to text her back too soon. All right, G, now there's nothing wrong with that because you exercising the law. of scarcity, but you want to be real about it, bro. And it's going to benefit your life if you just get on your purpose. And naturally, she will know if you're on your purpose. All right, G? Women got this sixth sense when they know you fake. At some point, they always figure it out, if not sooner than later. All right, guys? So understand, it's better to actually just be on your purpose and not be available naturally versus trying to fake. Now, next one. Remember I said 6 through 10 are going to be crucial. All right, now, remember, guys, there's a law, a man code, bro code in the man world, and that's don't chase women. Now, I'm about to give you a reason not to chase women. Yes, if you chase women, that means you're ignoring your purpose, right? Of course. Cliche, mundane advice you've been hearing from time to time for your whole life. But the biggest reason when it comes to dating and attracting women, or actually repelling women for that matter, is chasing them. The fact of the matter is the more you chase women, the more they will run. All right, G? Simple fact. Whoever told you that women don't like to chase, they lied to you. But this is the truth about that statement when people say women don't like to chase. Women are not going to chase the men that they don't want. All right, G? But it is more likely that she'll want you if you don't chase her. It's a difference between chasing a woman and showing intention and showing that you want her. A big difference. All right, we could talk about that on another video. But you got to decipher between the two. Because there's a difference. I'll give you an example. Let's say if a woman is giving you attention and she's showing you interest and she's showing you that she wants you and you're reciprocating that interest. Therefore, you are showing interest. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Why? Because it's reciprocation. It don't look weird at all. Therefore, she's not going to run. Why? Because the reasons why she's giving you that attention is because she wants it back. So if she gets it back, it's natural. Happily ever after, right? But if she is not giving you attention, showing you that she wants you, taking 3 days to hit you back, G, leave the girl alone. 9 times out of 10, it's probably a test. Who knows? But at the end of the day, you won't win if you chase. All right? Now, this is the fact about it. The only time men chase women is when they really like a chick. I made this mistake before. I was about 23. And I had this chick who was about 27. And bro, I was in love with this girl. All right? In love with her. So I was head over heels, G, doing everything under the blue moon to get and keep this chick, bro. I'm talking about mate guarding to the max. And women absolutely hate that. Now, here's the thing. Like I said, if they're giving you that energy back or initially, it is okay to reciprocate. But if not, don't chase. All right? Women hate men who chase. So if you are doing things, whether it's overcompensating with compliments, whether it's simping monetarily, whatever it is, G, you gotta stop. This is one of the reasons why women ghost you. One of the main reasons why, all right? Because you will realize that women always gravitate to the men who don't care about them. Whatever you want to say, G. It's just the truth, all right? Next one. All right, this one's gonna suck. Now, we all know that women like to have fun, all right? But something more important than women loving to have fun is that women hate boredom. And what that means is women love and they thrive off chaos and drama. You ever heard of the calm before the storm? That's usually happening a lot when you're dealing with women. Now, this is going to have a lot to do with what I said when women will test you. Remember I said, depending on the woman's respect for you, depending on the woman's burning desire for you, depending on how much she loves you or likes you, whatever you want to call it, depending on who you are in your frame, will determine not only how much she tests you, but how much she creates this emotional chaos that women tend to do in relationships. Now, this is a thing that's inevitable, just like most of this stuff. This is just female nature, fellas. This is a thing. Women will inevitably crave drama and chaos. That's just how it goes. So whether she manufactures it or whether you do, it's going to happen. This is why, fellas, and it's dark, but it's true. This is why women tend to stay with men who drag them along and cheat on them and ghost them and reject them and treat them like they regular. This is why. And the guys who treat women like Queen Elizabeth usually tend to not get the same energy. Because the men who treat them like they're regular, more times than not, bring them through emotional ups and downs, an emotional roller coaster. A lot of men have opposed this theory and said that they don't have time for it, i.e., the black pill. But this is what it is. This is how it's always been. This is the thing. This is the truth, fellas. For all you men who live with women, or for all you men who spend most of your week with women or most of your day with women, understand two things. There are two things you need to understand. Number 7 and number 4. All right, G. Now, all of this is important today. But if you spend a lot of time with your girl, you have to understand this. So the arguments, you got to understand where they're stemming from. And you like, well, I treat you good all the time. I take care. Fellas, listen to me. Listen to me. Maybe you treat her too good. Who knows? All right, you can apply this to your own situation. All right, G. Just understand this is very important for you guys in long-term relationships. So this is why you profusely argue with your girl, and this is why she profusely starts arguments. Why? I'm not saying that you have to be feminine and start arguments, but you gotta do something. You gotta understand this, fellas. Okay, this is the truth of the matter. I can't give you everything. I still got 3 more points. All right, fellas. Now, this one can be talked about a lot, okay, and it can be an extensive conversation. Now, some guys got conflicting ideas about this because some of this stuff actually turns some men on, and they actually like this. So I'm going to get into this, all right? I'm going to tell you my experience with this. Now, tattoos, colored hair, and piercings. Now, on paper, this is a red flag, all right, G, to be honest with you. Some men would say it's case by case. From my experience, women who have excessive tattoos, I'm not saying like 1 or 2, in some privacy spots. I think, that's okay sometimes. I met some virgins. I'm not going to lie. I met a virgin that had a tattoo in a privacy spot, G. So that ain't really bad all the time. I'm talking about excessive big tattoos and exposure areas. Also colored hair, all right? Piercings as well, especially excessive piercings. Now, women who tend to have these things, not saying that if your girl have piercings, tattoos, and colored hair that you should break up with her. But in most cases, guys, don't get your feelings hurt. In most cases, women who have these things usually have other issues. Not saying they're worth the breakup. Not saying that you can't take them seriously. But just beware. That's all I'm saying, G. Okay? I am telling you this honestly. Just beware. These are warning signs. All right? It's like if you walking down the street, you see a man, his pants sagging, his left hand is in his pants or under his hoodie. He got his hood on, his head down, and he walking like this. And he walking in your direction. Fellas, those are warning signs. That is not the sign for you to walk up to him and say, "Hi, buddy, how are you today?" That's a sign for you to probably cross your street or just keep on guard, G. If you got your stuff on, you put your hand where it's at. All right, G, but you get what I'm saying. Warning signs. That don't mean he bad, G. He just probably cold and he probably trying to keep his hands warm. But you gotta be safe. Keep your radar up. All right, fellas? That's all I'm going to say about that. All right, guys, number 9. And this is one thing that I had to learn the hard way. And I'm running out of room, so I'm going to just title this therapy. All right, G. Look, this is the truth, fellas. A woman does not want to be your therapist. So for all the men who are mad and upset when I say don't cry in front of your woman and never tell a woman your problems and don't be whining and moaning and complaining to her about your horrible day at work, it's a reason for that. All right, and I'll tell you a quick story. I'll be vulnerable today, guys. Listen to me. I was with this chick for a very long time. All right, guys. And I had gotten to a point in my life where, most guys that become well off financially, they usually have to make money, go broke, make money, go broke, and finally they learn their lessons, they get disciplined, and they stop wasting their money making bad decisions, and they finally remain stable and keep elevating. All right, fellas, so that's pretty much my story. Now, the first time I hit rock bottom, I'm chilling with my chick, man. We laying in the bed. By the way, we've been together for about 5 years at this point. All right, G. Now, mind you, for the full first 5 years, she had burning desire for me through the roof. If I were rated from a 1 to a 10, it would literally be like a 17, G. All right, I want to rate it higher, but I don't know how high you can get because then the woman get crazy. All right, fellas, but this woman was crazy for me. I'm talking about would do anything and everything until, and mind you, G, this was when I was broke. This is when I had money. It really didn't matter. That's how high the burning desire was, all right? But until one day, all right, we laying in the bed, and this is just when I had lost a lot of money. This is when I was kind of working for myself at the time. So we laying in the bed, right? And bro, I'm going through it mentally. And she leaned over, she rolled over, and she like, babe, what's wrong with you? I'm like, man, I'm going through it right now. And she like, what's wrong? And fellas, your girl will console you. If she loves you enough, she will ask you what's wrong. She will recommend that you tell her. But G, you gotta understand. It's a time and a place for everything. You gotta read the room. So fast forward to the story to make it short. What I told her was I was depressed and I was going through it. And another thing I did, and I let a little tear fall from my eye, bro. Just a little twinkle. But I also had the sniffles too. So what it looked like I was doing, G? I was crying. Also added it to the fact I'm saying I'm depressed. Now, mind you, what did I say? For the full 5 years, she had genuine burning desire for me. From a 1 to a 10, it was a 17. Bro, ever since that night, that 17 went to like a 6, bro. I had to leave her, G. It didn't work no more, bro. I'm talking about everything changed. And fellas, it was that type of situation where you bragging everybody. You like, man, my girl will never leave me. And G, I had to leave her. Why? Because I wasn't dealing with no 6, bro. I wasn't dealing with no 6. Because it's a lot that come with just a 6 when you live with a woman and y'all in a committed relationship. So guys, understand. She doesn't want to be your therapist. All right? That woman went through everything with me, bro. I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about most things that most women would leave men for. She dealt with being cheated on, everything, fellas, multiple times, all right? But the moment I started whining, the moment I started looking to her as my Mrs. Dr. Phil, guys, it was the end, all right? And I had to do it. I had to voluntarily sacrifice my queen, G, all right? Because I know the game. All right, next one. Fellas, this one's going to hurt. All right, you got to understand that women's love is not unconditional, meaning that it is conditional. So most men don't understand. This is why they make the decision to look at their women as their therapist. All right, guys, this is the harsh truth. Probably the worst news about female nature. All right, women will only love you to the degree that their emotions let them. Now, obviously, if a woman has genuine burning desire for you, less chances that she'll fall out of love with you. But love from a woman is conditional. Love from your dog may be unconditional. Love from your mom may be unconditional. And that sometimes love from your bros and your homies sometimes is unconditional. Your homies would deal with a lot if they real. But a woman, no, G. All right? Some guys argue and say women love you for what you do. Some guys argue and say women love you based on their emotions. Gee, it's all under one umbrella. Just don't depend on it. That's all I'm telling you. All right, fellas, that's a simple fact of the matter. I made this mistake before. I thought I can be a mental patient, G, with this woman. All right, it don't work like that. All right, you can do the most. But fellas, understand, certain things you can't do because most things that make you either look weak, desperate, will get you ghosted or rejected. Simple as that. All right, so these are 10 lessons that I've learned over the 15 years of dating. All right, guys. Now, this is the truth of the matter. No man knows it all. So anybody who tells you that they have every secret or every gem to how to get women and figure out women, fellas, the game never ends. All right. And the reason why the game never ends is because the game is always evolving. There are external things other than female nature that affect female nature, i.e., in today's world, social media, feminism. But as long as you're keeping up with the trends, guys, you're going to be all right. All right. So I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Share this with a homeboy who this will help out. All right. It's your boy KD. We out here, baby.